One fella says, my life hasn't been the same since my accident. The other fella says, what accident? The guy replies, the one where I got my finger stuck in that wedding ring. I asked a pastor to pray for my hearing. He put his hands on my head and over my ears, and he shook, and he prayed, and he said, how is your hearing now? I said, I don't know. It doesn't take place till next Tuesday at the courthouse.
Chopsticks save lives.
Starting the coffee with chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. We'll get started, but first, Trader Joe's dark roast made with the pour-through method. Nice.
Nice. My God, that is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
Let me ask you a question, man. Do you actually want her to manage your lifetime body of work if you die? Think about this. Start thinking about a succession plan. In other words, who's going to carry on your work when you're gone? I know many of you, you're thinking, I'm too young to do that. Actually, you're not too young to do that. It's never too young to plan what's going to happen if you're no longer here. Will your work still be influential and profitable for your estate after you are gone or gone too soon? Will your woman, your girlfriend, your wife, or your kids carry your work on? You can still be affecting lives for the positive, but the right succession plan makes that possible. Without a plan, everything that you've done will fall flat on its face, and you will have not made an impact. Do you want to make an impact? Start thinking about a succession plan. In other words, where your work helps people even after you are gone. Start thinking about that. Imagine having a lottery ticket in your possession where you never check the number. Like you just go and get a Powerball ticket, you know, one of those. When the jackpot's like 300 million, but you never check the number. It's sitting in your car or on the top of your dresser or in your pocket or in your wallet or something like that. And then you remember that you have it. And then you check it. 6 months later, 7 months later, you forgot that you had the ticket. And then guess what? You find out it's a winning ticket and you just won $300 million. You might be thinking, man, I wish I cashed that ticket in earlier if I only knew that I had a winner on me. Well, guess what? That's how I feel about the topic of focus. I was sitting on it my whole life. Focus. And then I cashed it in at 50 years old. And when I cashed it in, it was a winner. And I would have the same regret as someone who had a $300 million Powerball ticket that they didn't cash in. I wish I did it earlier. I wish I had more focus earlier in my life. Focusing on the right stuff with the right motivation behind you is a recipe for success. What could you do and what more could you accomplish if you just focused on one thing? What you say, my battery is running low and my phone is about to die. What you really mean, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Have you ever had that happen with somebody? Either you are the recipient of that, oh, my phone's about to die, I need to charge it. When they might actually be saying to you, okay, this conversation's over. Just remember, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. From her. I love this from Rich Cooper. He must be tall. She says, he must be tall, educated, earn, have a house and a car, make me laugh, be sensitive, be strong, have six-pack abs, and take me on trips. Men are thinking, I would just like a sexy woman with no kids, if possible. Women replying to that, you bitter pig, who hurt you? You hate women and you're going to die alone. And my reply is this, I'm good with a 6, librarian. She wants a 10, as in 10 million. Check out this chair. It's kind of like man cave and chair combination. That appeals to me. Kind of like a throne-looking thing with drawers and little hiding spots, and you could put your bottles and glasses and implements and knives and pipe paraphernalia and cigars all in a chair. If I ever see anything like that in a thrift store or an antique store, I am definitely getting it. Better yet, what if somebody manufactured those? That would be kind of cool, right? There's your next business idea. Here's a question for you. In what ways is idealism stealing from your life and giving you false hope? There is not a single idealistic SOB out there that's going to help you. Nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody. You have to do it. So you're going to finish your coffee, you're going to buck up, and you're going to take the first step today. Don't forget that the biggest discount on pheromone-infused products, the soap, beard oil, beard balm, cologne, etc., the biggest discount offered on the web ever is down below. Use my link and the promo code SULTAN20, and you'll get on the pheromone train and thank me later. The older a man gets, the more he values peace over beauty. He knows a pretty girl will only be beautiful for a while, but a peaceful gal will be beautiful for life. A man settles where he has peace, not necessarily where he has beauty. I will say this. I do think that the higher end of beauty is equivalent to the lower end of peace. The prettier the woman, the more the drama. My opinion, my experience. Trouble. 1 Peter 3, verses 3 and 4. This is for the ladies. Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. The imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. Try putting that on your dating profile as to what you're looking for, and then let me know how that goes. One of the things that I do very well is I am good in front of a camera, whether it be reading teleprompter or memorizing scripts or even talking impromptu. This letter from the First Looks agency, I did a series of infomercials for them, which played on television and all over the web and everywhere for years. And I asked the producer if she would be willing to write a reference for me, and she did. First Looks Agency, an award-winning advertising and marketing firm, this is outside of New York City, had the pleasure to work with George Bruno on a recent highly successful series of videos. Mr. Bruno's professionalism, talent, and preparedness make him a favorite with everyone involved, from the cameraman, the producer, and the director to the client and their consumers. In fact, we look forward to hopefully hiring Mr. Bruno again. And they did. Some of what made working with Mr. Bruno so easy were the following. Obvious familiarity with the material prior to the day of the shoot. You got to do the work. Ease with using the teleprompter. I've practiced that for years. I read out loud for years into a microphone and in front of a camera. So when you do something good, for instance, like when you do something and it's so good that it seems effortless to others, then you've arrived. Your work, did you put 10,000 hours into your work? Malcolm Gladwell calls that an expert. I've put hundreds of thousands of hours into it, so I make it look effortless. But it took work. I didn't wave a magic wand. I'm not particularly gifted. I did the work. I practiced till I did it perfect. Adaptability to inevitable onset changes and glitches. Stuff is always going to happen. Stuff is always going to happen. Lights are going to fail. Audio is going to fail. Something's going to happen. You're in the middle of a shoot, and then all of a sudden there's a siren from an ambulance or a fire truck just outside the window. Or the landscaper comes by with the weed whacker. Just prepare for everything and be able to roll with it. Remarkable ability to get it right in a single take. I was one take Bruno. In other words, I get it perfect the first time. They would have to do 2 or 3 takes just to make sure. And then they had a hard time picking which one to use. But again, I made it look effortless because of thousands of hours of practice. Approachable yet professional and an expert appearance. That's what I did. And unwavering, pleasant demeanor. We would highly recommend George Bruno for any upcoming projects you might have. Sincerely, Laura Kaiser, and that is with the First Looks Agency. $99 flip-flops? What the heck? I remember my kids buying $3 flip-flops at Old Navy, and even at the dollar store, they were getting them for $1. At Five Below, I think they got them for $2. So how is it that people will pay $99 for a pair of flip-flops? What if that flip-flop was workout in a sandal? What if you could just wear it, walk around, and lose weight, lose inches? I have seen leather flip-flops. I have seen fur flip-flops. And if you think that's bad, there are $1,700 gold, feather, and diamond flip-flops from the jeweler H. Stern. And these weren't the type that where you lose weight, like workout in a sandal. It wasn't that. There is a person for every price and a price for every person. What are you selling? What do you sell? How can you charge more for the product or service that you offer? Do you think your customers won't pay it? Some will. Some will purchase a premium product or service just to say that they have it, or just to say that they're part of that group. Let me train you to think this. Okay, I want you to know this. If you want to make $1 million in a year, that's $83,000 and change per month, which means you got to make about $3,000 a day. So let me ask you this. What do you have to do in order to generate that monthly number, $83,000, $20,000 a week? What do you have to do to make $20K a week? Is it even possible for you? Do you have $3,000 a day habits? And if you don't, why not? Just a quick admonition for men. Men, never take your life because of a woman. She wants you to off yourself. She would love it if you were out of the picture. She will tell your kids that you had emotional problems. And realize this, most women will shrug off men's suicide unless it's a father, a brother, or a son. But most women will shrug off men's suicide. It kills us, man, when we see that. When a brother takes his life, overdoses, shoots himself, hangs himself. That's some pretty rough stuff when somebody makes that choice. But women never feel that the way that we do. It's just another day for them. Never take your life because of a woman. Never, ever let the thought complete in your brain. Maybe I would be better off dead. Don't think that way, my brother. Don't think that way. And there are only 3 things that you need to know about her. Her medicine cabinet, the top drawer of her nightstand, and what's in her phone. You can save yourself a lot of time and money. You can get back money, but you can't get back time. That's why I want you to despise, dislike, hate, disconnect, disavow, disassociate with anyone who wastes your time. Your most important asset is the time that you have. You can't get time back. Learn to identify time wasters right away. The medicine cabinet, the top drawer of the nightstand, and her phone will tell you everything that you need to know about her. Here we go with this attachment theory kind of stuff. If I put the title narcissism or narcissist in any of my videos, it would go viral because that's like the latest chick crack, narcissism in men. He's a narcissist. He's abusive. Yeah, okay. This attachment theory. Well, he's an avoidant. He's an anxious. He's this or she's that. It's like that's just more voodoo, just more astrology trying to explain human behavior. Don't get caught up in the narcissism trap, the studying of narcissism. I could get 500,000 hits on a video just by talking about narcissists. Of course, everybody you just broke up with, or that just broke up with you, is a narcissist, right? Same thing with this whole attachment theory stuff. Well, I'm an avoidant. I'm an anxious. Stop it. Stop it. It's just the new astrology. When somebody loses genuine desire for you, you don't have to give them a diagnosis. They're just not into you, period. But you don't want to admit that. Be better next time around, or choose better next time around. Every day you keep doing your current job, that's another day that you're not doing what you really want to do. I've been talking to you about your sweet spot and how you perform probably for 8 years now. I've been talking about this for a long time. The sweet spot. It's the place on the bat, the golf club, the tennis racket, where a combination of factors result in maximum response. The ball goes further and faster when it comes in contact with the sweet spot on the club, the bat, the racket. So I have a series of 5 questions for you. What is the sweet spot in your career? Number 2, what do you do that is so good, so competitive, that other people say, wow, when you are doing that thing? Number 3, are you in a place where you can leverage that sweet spot, or how can you get to that place? Question number 4, who needs to see your sweet spot in action? And number 5, what other spots are on deck? What is your number 2, your number 3? And how can you start prepping them for their time at bat in your career? What is the sweet spot in your life? Where do you perform best? Coaching can help that as well. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. And look out for the new business series. I have some interviews coming up where I talk to some people in my mastermind group.
The amazing George Bruno.